What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we do have a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. So let's start off with Real Housewives of New York first. So this was posted by Bravo Snarkside on last Tuesday, and it says this: Rebecca Minkoff says Jenna Lyons turned down her suggestion to fake fight over fashion in RHOM season 15. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but I'll read the excerpt in the article about fighting, and I'll definitely put the link to the article in the description box below. So it says this: Minkoff, for her part, had her own ideas as to how she and Lyons could have used the fashion background to spice up the show. She goes on to say, I kept joking with her. I was like, we should do a fake fight over like who's the most stylish, Minkoff called. And she was like, we're good. And I was like, but it'd be so funny. It would if we did that. So I'm happy Jenna refused to fake fight with Rebecca. Now, we're not going to act like the girls don't fake fight from time to time, but I feel like it only works if everybody agrees to the situation. If people don't agree to it, then you're just wasting your time, in my opinion. And it's very noticeable that y'all are trying to have a fake beef. So that's stupid. So I'm glad that Jenna was like, nah, I'm good. And yeah, so what I will say is I don't know how good New York is about to be. I watched the preview that they released. It was like maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and it was not given. And the reason why I'm like, maybe New York should have came out probably later in the fall, because Salt Lake City only has 2 episodes that came out, and they were great. And I think it's going to be a pretty interesting and fun season, a messy season. Then you have OC. OC is having a great season. And then on Sunday, Real Housewives of Potomac comes back. And I feel like with those 3 shows, New York ain't really cutting it with that little preview. But again, it was a preview, so it could get better. But I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So, and this coming out about the little fake fight doesn't make it any better either, because it's like, girl, why would you get on your first season trying to fake fight? What are we doing? But let's move on. So let's go down to Miss Atlanta and talk about Phaedra. So we all know Phaedra is on Dancing with the Stars. That's not really a competition show that I get into. For the most part, I've seen that she's done pretty decently. I also saw that she won an Emmy, but I think it was for her performance on Traitors. So I'm not really sure. But she was asked by an Entertainment reporter about Married to Medicine and Atlanta. So let me play that clip for you.
A lot of fans were curious about how you make the jump from Housewives from Married to Medicine. How did that process even play out?
Easy.
Yeah? How's that?
Well, you know what? Housewives is obviously my first love.
Yeah.
Portia said, hey, Phaedra, I need you back. I need your help. Frickin' Frack is back. That's my girl.
The frack to my frick. I want you to go put it on. Frickin' frack, keep it moist.
So, it's like returning. It's like a homecoming, going back home. And so, I love my Housewives, and I want to see Atlanta come back to when it was so fierce and fabulous. So we're going to do that.
You can't always get what you want, but I can.
Were you secretly filming episodes while you were also shooting Married to Medicine?
No, it was no secrets.
Okay. It was out there. I was coming.
So the reason why I brought y'all that clip is I find it so funny that Phaedra now has this attitude like she is better than the girls or better than Married to Medicine. like she was just like, at the end, he was like, was there a secret that you were filming both shows? She was like, no, it was no secret. I don't know. I've never really been a fan of Phaedra. And I mean, I'm not knocking her hustle. One thing I'll give Phaedra, she keep a job and she stay on TV. But it's just kind of girl, you needed Married to Medicine. And I'm, for one, happy that she's not going to be on Married to Medicine as the season continues, because if you don't know, Married to Medicine is one of my favorite reality shows, and I just felt like Phaedra didn't fit last season. Like, there was genuinely no need for Phaedra. She brought nothing to the show, but I feel like she's going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta and give us nothing again, because in my mind, you needed Married to Medicine just like you needed Traders, because Phaedra's display on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Ex-Wives Club was not enough for me to think that people wanted her back. And then, you know, I think she might have been banking on the next iteration of Ex-Wives Club where they went to Morocco, but then the whole Brandy Glanville and Caroline Manzo situation happened, and so they scrapped that. So she only had her choice of Married to Medicine. She got lucky because everybody, even I, was impressed with her movement and the way she played Traders, that it made her more like likable to people. But it's like, girl, you needed Married to Medicine to still keep your face out there. So why are you knocking it now? Because you're the same person who said that Real Housewives of Atlanta was a sinking ship, and you really didn't have any like thoughts of really truly returning. I also find it interesting that she's like, freaking Frack is back. So I feel like if Phaedra does come back for season 17, if they have a 17, which I think they will, we're gonna see the beef between Shamia, Phaedra, and Portia be reignited. Because one thing about Portia is she will jump ship when she sees a bigger fish and hitch her wagon to them, and she knows people really did enjoy freaking Frat for that time that we saw it, that I really do believe that she will start kind of like playing Shamia to the left for Phaedra. All right, y'all, so let's head over to Miss Miami, because girl what is going on? They just started filming and it seems like the drinks are flying. So I saw this the other day. It was posted by Gibson Johns. Y'all know we featured some of his interviews on the channel, as well as on in the Spicy Corner and the drama videos. And he posted this yesterday, and it was he said, "It looks like the drinks are flying, hashtag RHOM." And I said, what? And so then it was a screenshot of Guerdy, her Insta story, and it was like, if someone throws a drink on you, like, what are you supposed to do? And the response was, if someone throws a drink on you, is that assault? And it was like, yes, in many circumstances, throwing a drink is assault. And then she had hashtag the more you know. And I said, who throwing drinks? Y'all just started filming. And then underneath that post, Gibson wrote, Guerdy has unfollowed Julia. So then I just kept scrolling on Twitter, and then I saw Dorinda Deadly post the same thing, and they actually went on Instagram and like hit the search bar, and it looks like Guerdy, in fact, is not following Julia anymore. And I said, yo, they really was throwing drinks. And then this morning, while I was scrolling before I started to make this video, Guerdy posted this to her Insta story the other day, and it says this: when you can look in the mirror and recognize who you are, because you'll never sell your soul. So I don't know if that's a shot at Julia or not, because, you know, I'm so surprised, because I never would have thought Guerdy and Julia would have got into it. To me, they seemed to be so fine and cool last season because, you know, Guerdy was battling cancer, Martina was battling cancer at the same time. And we actually saw a scene where Julia and Guerdy sat down, and Martina was basically giving Guerdy like tips and telling her what to expect with different types of treatment. So the fact that it got to this point where allegedly a drink was thrown and Julia was the one that threw the drink at Guerdy, if that actually in fact happened, I'm just really surprised, because I'm like, I thought y'all was cool. But I wonder if the falling out is, one, because Guerdy is having a hard time finding her place in the group, because to me, Dr. Nicole was like Guerdy's lifeline. And when I say that in a way of like, Nicole, even though she had issues with Alexia and Marisol, we still saw her making efforts with everybody else. Like, she was cool with Julia, she was cool with Adriana, we saw her talking to Lisa, we saw her even try to make amends with Larsa, we saw her get cool with Alexia, we saw her try to get cool with Marisol. Like, we saw like the girls, the group was shifting where Nicole was being more accepted, and probably was going to be way more accepted if she stayed on as the seasons continued. I just feel like Nicole was really like Guerdy's friend on this show. And now that she doesn't have that, maybe she might be struggling to find her place in the group. I'm also wondering if Guerdy feels some type of way that Julia has linked up with Larsa, because there was a video that I saw prior to this where it was Kiki, Larsa, Marisol, and Guerdy, and it looked like they were out at like a club or at a party. I don't know why Marisol got an eye patch on, but it's just kind of like, I didn't see Guerdy. I don't like, and a lot of the scenes, like not the scenes, but a lot of the social media coming out of Real Housewives of Miami where the girls are hanging out, I don't really see like Guerdy in it. I see the other ladies, but not really Guerdy. So I'm wondering, like, is she struggling and is she mad, or is she kind of feeling some type of way that like the people she thought was going to have her back now that Nicole is gone don't have her back anymore. But what I will say is this really does get me excited because I genuinely want to know and see how this played out. So let's get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So my girl Kim, I love me some Kim Richards, but as it seems like this is going to be a lifelong struggle for her. So it says, this was posted by All True Tea, and they got it from TMZ. And TMZ posted this article on the 27th of September. It says, Kim Richards put on Psych hold, has a confrontation with Kyle over sobriety. So the article goes on to say this: Kim Richards has been shut out by her entire family, TMZ has learned, but it's a case of tough love because we're told she's fallen off the wagon and was placed on psychiatric hold earlier this month, but that hasn't ended the drama. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ they showed up at the home Kyle owns in LA area Wednesday night after the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star called them in hopes of getting Kim removed from her house. We're told Kyle had let Kim live in the house, but she moved out a while back. But Wednesday, Kim showed up again. Law enforcement says Kyle told them she did not want Kim in the house because the family had cut out all contact in hopes it would shake Kim and get her on sobriety again. Get her sober again. We're told cops explained to Kyle it was a civil matter and she'd have to file an eviction action. Kim remained in the house. It gets even worse. Law enforcement tells TMZ back in the early Septembers, Kim was at the Hilton Hotel in LA area and was incoherent. Kyle was there. The cops were called, and when they arrived, they asked Kim to leave, but she refused. Law enforcement tells TMZ Kim was placed on a 5150 psychiatric hold and taken by the ambulance to the hospital. Law enforcement sources say when they showed up on Wednesday night, Kyle told them Kim's in deep trouble over her sobriety and the family is worried about her very survival. If you don't know, Kim and Kyle have a complicated relationship, first coming to the public attention during RHOBH season 1 finale, where the two got into a huge fight about Kim's issues with alcoholism. Last year, Kim admitted she hadn't spoken to Kyle in months, even after her separation from longtime husband Mauricio Umansky came to national attention. We reached out to Kim and Kyle. So far, no word back. So I genuinely hate to hear this about Kim, because Kim is one of my favorite Real Housewives, and I just hate this for her because I really thought she was on a better track, especially when we saw her last season. She seemed okay. Like, she seemed like she was still working through things, but she seemed definitely sober and in a better place. And now to know that she's fallen off again, I just hate that. I hate that for her family. And as much flack as I give Kyle, and I know a lot of people don't like Kyle, I know it has to be extremely hard, because even though her relationship with her sisters is very like toxic and like contentious, I do think they all genuinely love and care about each other. And I know it has to be hard for Kyle and Kathy to see their sister constantly struggling with this demon that is addiction. And I just hope like one day like they'll know a sober Kim. Like, I really do. I hope her children will know a sober Kim, because I bet you they have a bunch of stories of how she has hurt them or let them down dealing with this demon that is, alcohol addiction. So I hate it. I hate it, man. I hate it. I also hope we don't have to see any of this play out on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I don't think we will, because they stopped filming. Maybe she'll be asked about it when they start filming again. Like Andy will ask her, Kyle, about it when she comes on Watch What Happens Live, or the girls will ask her how she's doing. But I hate this for their family, and I specifically hate it for Kim, because I love me some Kim Richards, okay? So I really do hope here soon we hear that she's in rehab or on a better track. So in other news for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it looks like Erika Jayne officially lost her rights to her diamond earrings. Now, if you don't remember, back around May of 2023, Erika Jayne had to give up her diamond earrings because they were trying to determine if those earrings were bought with estate money. So pretty much money from the victims that Tom Girardi scammed. But she was very holding on steadfast that those were her earrings. She shouldn't have to give them up. Well, last Tuesday she had a hearing, and it looks like she lost the hearing, and they found out that the earrings are in fact the estate's property. So they're technically the victims. So this was posted by Bravo Snarkside, and it says this: Erika Jayne loses earring hearings today. Court rules earrings were part of the estate. So Ronald Richards has been, I guess, the lawyer that's been keeping up with this case. And so he had several tweets, and I'm just going to read what Bravo Snarkside posted. They said this: Today's the big day. Live posting from the Erika Girardi hearing on the earrings. Judge started early and is clearing some of the early cases. The remainder of the overturn were so long you may have forgotten it. It was May 1st, 2023. We are now 16 months later, if you can believe it. This hearing will determine if the trustees have shown the funds used to purchase the diamond earrings were estate property, and if so, then Erika cannot recover the earrings or any damages. We will post upon the case being called. So he had a 4-part tweet, but the only part that we care about is the ruling, and it says this. It says the court's rules the funds were commingled. Even Erika's attorney conceded that this is a reasonable inference. And I guess the attorney's last name is Borge. It says Borge reiterates he does not approve of anything Tom Girardi did. Borge references his client is not divorced but still married to Tom Girardi. Court opens. She is still in possession of the earrings, and she isn't entitled to the money. I think he forgot that they were sold. His attorney says, her attorney says she married the wrong guy. The judge is reminding the commingling was not an issue at the prior hearing. He is just grandstanding now for press purposes. Court ordered earrings are property of the estate. Now they are going to discuss the $25 million lawsuit. So basically, the ruling is saying that Erika has no right to the earrings and she can't sell them. And I was like, ooh, girl. Honestly, I feel like she should have just gave up the earrings. That money probably was bought with the victim's money. And even if it wasn't, I would have just gave them up just so I could be done with it. Going back and forth to court is not fun. So I don't even know why she kept playing them games with them people. So y'all, let's talk about OC. Get your snacks, because it's a lot going on down in the OC. I would have put this in a spicy corner, but nah, it's a lot going on. So we might as well just talk about it in here, because it probably would have made that video an hour long. So first up is this situation between Joel Kim Booster, who is supposed to be the new host of that new dating show that I talked to you guys about. The dating show is supposed to be called The Love Hotel, and it's supposed to star Luann, Giselle, Shannon, and Ashley. But it seems like Joel has some choice words for Shannon and her behavior. So this was posted by Babe of Bravo, and they got screenshots of Joel's Insta story, as well as somebody got the actual, they took notes of what he said on his Instagram live. So this is what Bravo Babe posted. It says Joel Kim Booster has some words for Shannon Beador and her behavior during the new Housewives dating show he is hosting. So he started off like this. He says, just because you're a pathetic drunk on a reality television show best known for a string of failed relationships and a DUI does not make you a star and does not give you license to treat the people you work with like they are subhuman, period. They will make me delete this, but DM me if you like to see some videos, Bezos. He continues by saying, well, that was quick. Anyway, don't regret it. Hope you screenshot it. Hope she suffers. And then he finished it by saying, well, let's just say I can't imagine what John Jansen went through. Poor guy. So Joel didn't stop there with his Insta story tweets. He actually went live, and now there's this screenshot of like what he said, like someone basically like giving the cliff notes of what he said. I don't know if he went live on TikTok or on Instagram, but I'm getting this from a Twitter user by the name of @StillOnZoloft, and the handle she goes by is Samantha Bush, and it says, so apparently Joel Kim Booster went live this morning and went off about Shannon Beador. So it says this, Sam, I had no idea Joel Kim Booster was hosting Housewives Hotel or whatever it's called. He just went on live and cooked Shannon Beador like he roasted her, he chopped her up and served her for breakfast. So it continues by saying this, said she had been a terror for the entire 3 weeks, humiliates the crew, was hideous to him, and that at the rap party just a few hours ago, she was terrible to someone he really loves. And he got in her face and said, like, you think you're a star? People don't like you, they pity you. And then he said the daughters are just as bad. Ooh. So here's my thing. I don't think Joel should have did this. And what I'm saying is this, I'm not condoning Shannon's behavior. If it in fact is true that Shannon was treating staff nasty, if she was being disrespectful, if she was being mean towards them or treating them less than human, she should be reprimanded. But now people are calling into question Joel's professionalism. I saw a lot of people being like, this is really unprofessional. He probably burned his bridge with NBC Universal. Like, people were not really on his side, and I don't know if he put this out hoping that people would be on his side, or if he put this out because like he was just that angry and heated that Shannon treated somebody that he cared about poorly, or he was just like he had reached his limit of tolerating Shannon's bad behavior if in fact she was being that way. And I'm also wondering, like, is this to drum up eyes to watch this show? Because even though they have released information about the show, I haven't seen anybody excited for this show. And I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not the person that's into dating shows. So this was never going to be something that I was like really going to tune in for like that. And also I don't think the cast is fun. Like we've seen Giselle date. It's not entertaining. Neither is Ashley dating entertaining. The Countess is fun, but she can't be the only fun girl on the show. And then Shannon, I feel like people would tune in to see Shannon like spiral out or have like a crazy moment or say something, flip it at the mouth that's really funny, but it's not enough, I feel like, to draw eyes to the show. And so I'm wondering if Joel did this or if the network pushed him to do this in order to get people to like actually watch the show, to see Shannon be disrespectful or treat people less than human. I'm also wondering if, because Joel came out, is there going to be other staff workers that come out as well? So, you guys, are we witnessing the downfall of Tamra Judge? Because when I tell you for the past couple of days, the people have been on her neck. I don't think we are. I think it's more power for the course, to be honest. But let's get into it. So on Wednesday, the day before the latest episode of Real Housewives of Orange County premiered, there was a preview clip going around, and it was a clip of Tamra getting into it with Ryan after Tamra was calling out Ryan for saying disparaging things about him about her and Eddie on a podcast. Well, Ryan felt like, well, y'all was talking trash about me last year, so why can't I do it too? So Jen took to her Insta story, and this is what she had to say. She said, at All About the Truth podcast, can we please link the podcast from last year? This woman for an entire year drug my man's name through the mud. Remember before cameras went up, she never had one problem with Ryan. Hashtag need a storyline. She has over 1 million followers and her own podcast and trashed Ryan regularly. He went on one podcast and spoke his truth. And then she continues by saying, how ironic that she trash talked people on the regular, and if one person says anything back, it's crocodile tears or drunk slurring her words. Eddie tried to stop her several times, and after she stumbled out of Katie's home yelling false statements, the guys had a very civil conversation. We just had to take the trash out so that could happen. So she posted that Wednesday. Tamra followed up in her own Insta story by saying this. So looking forward to this week's episode and talking about it on @Bravo Watch What Happens Live tomorrow. So she wasn't really studying what Jen had to say. It was also very interesting that it kind of got worse as the days continued, okay? Because then you had Erica Jane and Teddy on Two T's in a Pod. Erica Jane was filling in for Tamra, speaking about the episode and Ryan's explanation about what he said on the podcast, as well as the whole legal situation. So let me play that clip for you.
When I'm watching this, she's like, what FBI?
I think she was hoping it would never come out.
Girl. Wait, you should turn in your orange right the now.
Did you like his energy?
No, I did not.
That answer was so long, even edited, I nodded off.
Well, it reeks of deception.
So Jen posted today, we just had to take the trash out so that this could happen. I don't like when people call people trash.
The trash is where she lost me.
Did Ryan write this?
Let these chicks fight their own battles. It's a show about women. You guys are, for once in your life, not necessary. Hello. Ryan called Eddie a clown and a soft baby. By the way, none of you are hard.
Yeah,
I want to let you on. Yeah, none of you are hard.
So Jen saw this clip and she responded. So this is what she said. She says, girls, I made the post. I completely understand the statement of calling her trash doesn't sit well with you. It's not my nature either, but I apologize and I can't think of another name for her. She has zero class, peeing like a dog on my back patio, sticking her finger in Emily's butt, peeing in Katie's driveway, crying in Big Bear that she's mad at God, screaming at Shannon that she's an alcoholic, when we all know Tamra uses alcohol as liquid courage. I could go on and on. She made a big allegation against Ryan. She will be hearing about it. I have so much respect for you at The Pretty Mess, which is Erica Jane's handle on Instagram. I certainly understand I am new and Tamra has been around for a long time. That doesn't mean that me and my partner or my family take her blasting quietly. At Teddy Mellencamp, I enjoy you at the Traders Party. It feels like you are one of the girls that likes whoever their best friend likes and hate whoever their best friend hates. I'm different, but can understand your stance, being that you're so close to Tamra. I was once as well. Let's not forget that. So here's my response to that. I'll give Jen points because I didn't think she was going to come back. And she read with that comment. She really did with that comment. But what I will say is I do somewhat agree with Teddy and Erica that it does seem like Jen was acting like, what FBI? Like she didn't understand what was about to come out when Ryan's name has been littered throughout this case. So it's either you're acting willfully obtuse and ignorant, or you're just you're playing stupid. And I hope Jen knows what's coming. I hope she prepared herself for that, but it looks like Jen is going to be the type to stick beside her man. And, maybe Ryan won't suffer any consequences, but it's definitely giving that Ryan, is a part of this scam of stealing from this man. We just gonna have to call a thing a thing. And I do disagree with Jen's post. Even though I don't like Teddy, she is not Tamra's lapdog, because there's been several times that I have listened to the podcast of clips of it where Teddy has disagreed with Tamra and stood in disagreeing with Tamra. So it is what it is, but kudos for Jen to responding, because I didn't expect her to. So it didn't just stop there, because things got pretty heated online because Ryan decided to respond to Tamra, and then Gretchen entered the chat. So Tamra was on Watch What Happens Live. She said some things about Ryan that Ryan wasn't too happy with, but this is what he said. He said, Tamra, you are played out. Your stick is played. Your stick is old, and we, the fans of the show, have evolved and grown up. Your lying, scheming, self-producing drunkenness, nakedness, trailer trash behavior is circa 10 years ago. It's not cute anymore. In fact, it's gross, and we're over it. Just take a look in the mirror. Or if self-reflection isn't your thing, then just read the comments on the blogs, Bravo TV, your own podcast, or your own personal social media. Hashtag it's time. So then Gretchen responded by saying this: it reminds me so much of what she would do to Slade and I constantly. She would talk mad shit about Slade, and then then the second he would defend himself or call her out on her BS, she would cry and play victim. It's the same old story, just different characters. I'm sorry you two are going through this. We love you guys. So this is what's going to annoy me about this situation is everyone trying to rewrite history as it states with Ryan. Everyone trying to act like we didn't all think last season that Ryan was shady. He gave charlatan and fraudster, as well as that he cheated and was playing in Jen's face. I get it. We the people do not see it for Tamra. I'm one of them, but I'm not going to act like all of a sudden because he's going back and forth with Tamra and he reading the crap out of her that all of a sudden he's a good guy and that absolves him from the case that he's going through. Now, it does seem like Gretchen might be back on the show because there was a recent picture that Jim posted on Saturday where she was hanging out with Katie and Gretchen responded by saying, OMG, my cheeks hurt from laughing with you girls. Love you too. Thank you for inviting us to dinner. So it seems like Gretchen is getting prepared to return back to the show, which I would be interested to see. Because, her and Tamra did not see it for each other. And it seemed like Gretchen was the only person that could really stick it to Tamra. So as the day continued, we ended up getting a Insta story post from Tamra where she was basically trying to clean up what she said on Watch What Happens Live about Ryan, because after a while she started to get more flack. I think after Ryan made that post underneath one of the blog pages or maybe underneath one of her posts, she kind of got worried that dang, she might have crossed the line. So this is what she posted on her Insta story.
Didn't mean to say that Ryan stole the money. I meant Vina made more money than what was stolen from the Dodger player. But I didn't mean Ryan, so I apologize for that. Because like Andy said, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yes, everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
Didn't mean to say, you know what, Ryan? We sell more in a month than what you stole from the Dodger player.
Oh boy.
So Tamra basically was trying to clean up what she said on Watch What Happens Live. And you could tell that she misspoke with the way that she was stuttering. But girl, you should have kept it in the vault. So this was posted on another blog page. So Ryan came up underneath the comments and said this, responding to another user. And he was trying to avoid a new lawsuit. It seems convenient to misspoke on a public platform. I don't buy anything this woman is selling. And so Ryan responded to this person by saying, facts, I had Tamra served yesterday, hence the apology. So you would have thought it stopped there, but no, Jen and Vicky decided to hop into the chat to give their thoughts. So Jen said this is the most fake attempt of a retraction of her words. I feel bad for Eddie. Let's not forget, she also said on national television, Ryan's home was raided by the FBI 6 months ago, and Jen is covering for him. Girl, you should have listened to Eddie when he tried to shut you up 5 times that night. Our home was never raided. I'm covering for nobody. Your mouth and alcohol are your biggest problem, and you attacked Shannon. What a joke. So then Vicky also commented, guess she didn't learn before with being sued from Jim. She has no storyline unless she's attacking someone. Peeing on your backyard cement was it for me and everyone else. It's gross, classless, and rude. Now hopefully she'll learn her lesson on defaming people. Girl, and I thought they were done after that because I said, girl, you got Gretchen on your neck, Ryan's on your neck, Vicky's on your neck. Jen ain't taking her foot off your neck because she been getting at you since Wednesday. And then all of a sudden, here come Kelly Dodd.
I just got off the phone with Jim Bellino, and he gave me the info on what Tamra did. And then I got a bunch of DMs also saying, she's a liability. Tamra Judge needs to be sued. I need to sue Tamra Judge. Vicky needs to sue Tamra Judge. And Gretchen needs to sue Tamra Judge. We all need to come together and sue her. She said, I suck dick for money on the show, not once, but multiple times. That is not true. It's slander, and it's disgusting that she gets to come and say I do a sex train and all these things. That is a lie. We all need to come together and file a class action lawsuit against Tamra Judge, because they allow her to go and spread rumors. And you know what? We need to take her down. We need to take that evil bitch down.
And here's the thing. Kelly can't speak because Kelly has said some of the craziest and nastiest things about her castmates. So for her to be like, we need to get a class action lawsuit and sue her, girl, no. Shut up, Kelly. And honestly, Kelly is like one of my favorite Real Housewives villains, because she truly is that. But it's just like, girl, you've said some nasty stuff and some defamatory stuff about people. Like, all of you have. So to be like, we need to get a class action lawsuit, I'm like, girl, stop. Vicky done said some nasty stuff. I think the only person that hasn't really said anything is Jen, and that's because Jen has just got here. She's only been on her second season, and most of her storyline is about her, and she doesn't seem like she's that type of person to go back and forth like that. But she ain't said nothing nasty. But Kelly, miss me, girl. Miss me with that. I said, Kelly, shut up. Shut up. But I guess Ryan wasn't lying about serving Tamra, because All About the Truth ended up posting a picture with an envelope with Tamra's name on it, and it looked like it was on her door, basically signifying that she had been served. They also said this, they got a screenshot of Ryan having a conversation with somebody in the comments, and the person named Jordan said, at Ryan, please get yourself a good lawyer and sue Tamra's ass off. She's out here now trying to do damage control, saying, I didn't mean to say Ryan stole money. We are behind you and Jen 100%. And so Ryan responded by saying, facts, I already did. I hired Georgioff Nuri, which is the same amazing attorney that represented Jim Bellino in his victorious slander and defamation lawsuit against Tamra years ago. She was served yesterday, #round 2. I said, good Lord, Tamra. So then Tamra ended up posting an apology, an official statement where she said this: as I mentioned on my IG story yesterday, I would like to apologize for and correct the record on a misstatement I made on Watch What Happens Live on Thursday about Ryan Boraji. I have no reason to believe that Ryan has stolen any money. I misspoke in tying Ryan to the actions of others. I meant to say my company makes more money than what was stolen from the Dodger player. Unfortunately, I misspoke on live television. While Ryan and I have our ongoing issues, I apologize to him for the statements, and I wish to make it clear that my statement was made in error. I sincerely apologize, Tamra Judge. So the last thing I heard about this was from Eddie, because Eddie entered the chat with an Insta story and a video of this man putting on makeup. It's from a movie that I've seen, but I can't remember the name of the movie. But he said this: men who fight with Real Housewives on a Real Housewives reality TV show do for fun. And then the caption was, I find it hilarious to see grown men fight with women on a reality TV show about women for women, and they are such manly men because they are standing up for their manhood. In reality, you really never win this fight on a reality TV show. The answer is not just one little bitch on the series. Can you name them all? #my opinion, #baby bitch. Girl, mess. So here's my thing, and then we gonna get up on out of here, because I didn't think this video was gonna be this long, but hey, it is. Tamra needs to learn when to stop. And I think that's the issue with Tamra. Tamra doesn't know when it's time to like let things go. She oftentimes keeps going and going and going until she's forced to stop, or until someone cuts her so deep, like they said, she starts crying and having crocodile tears. There's nothing wrong with her being the villain on the show or being antagonistic. The issue is you got to learn when it's like when to turn it off and when to like hold your mule, as the people would say. But I don't think it's wrong for Ryan to try to sue her, but I do think like it sets a precedent for the show that will not vibe well in the favor of viewers, because it's like every time somebody says something you don't like, you can't always run and say defamation and I'm suing them. I think what's ultimately going to end up happening is Ryan is probably going to have to like drop his case, especially if Jim wants to stay on this show, because I don't think they're going to get rid of Tamra, because now they have a storyline where it's going to be Tamra versus Jen as the season continues. And if Ryan is suing her, it's eventually, I think, is what's going to happen like it did with what's his name? What is his name? With Gollum. What's that man's name? That pasty demon. Michael and Ashley from Real Housewives of Potomac, when they were suing, or when Michael was suing Candace for defamation, they had to drop it, because it's like the damage is already out there. And I think for Ryan, the damage is already out there. You're linked to this case. So people could rightfully so believe that, hey, girl, like you did steal this money. Now where Tamra lost is like, girl, you said their house got raided when you didn't know it. Like, you don't know that. That wasn't news. Like, where did you get this information? So that is where Tamra would be in trouble. But I don't think it's enough for a defamation suit. I think it's enough to get Tamra to back off, but it might have the reversed effect. You never know. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic, and definitely hop down in them comments below and share your thoughts with me on everything that I've discussed with you guys today. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.